House Intelligence Committee ranking member Devin Nunes this morning demanding committee chair Adam Schiff call the Justice Department Inspector General Michael Horowitz to testify in front of the committee before a likely Senate impeachment trial gets underway next month. Nunes pointing out statements made in Schiff's memo that contradicted what was in the IG report. Congressman Devin Nunes joins me now for an exclusive interview. And Congressman, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks very much for joining us. Just want to lay the groundwork here to make sure people understand what has taken place. More than a year ago, in March of 2018, you came out with what we now refer to as the Nunes memo. And that memo went through an update on significant facts relating to the committee's ongoing investigation into the Department of Justice and the FBI and their use of the FISA court and the FISA warrant to spy on innocent American citizens. You went through everything that you had come up with after your long investigation, and now we know that everything you said in that memo was true. It came out in the IG report. Having said that, after you came out with that memo in March of 2018, you were mocked. The Democrats mocked you, as well as the media. In particular, Adam Schiff came out with a memo disputing everything you said. Tell us about the letter you sent to Adam Schiff this morning.
Well, first off, we need to have a hearing with IG Horowitz next week. The longer that this goes on, the longer it takes America to heal itself. The FISA court itself is in tremendous jeopardy. We cannot support the FISA court right now. The judges are refusing to take action against these dirty cops and dirty lawyers who did this. That's totally unacceptable because, remember, this is a secret court. The people who, like Carter Page, they have no recourse except for Congress. This is why the House Intelligence Committee and Senate Intelligence Committee were created. So it's important, I think, to take people back. It wasn't that we just learned about this in February of 2018, Maria. We actually, House Republicans, learned about this in the spring of 2017, at least the initial part, that the dossier had been used, that the Clinton paid for dirt. We then proved that the Clintons did pay for it and the DNC did pay for it in the fall of 17. And we knew that we had to get this information out to the American public, and that's what led to us producing this memo in February of 2018 that the media helped cover up for it. And you know, to get back to normalcy in this country, we need a free and fair press, but we don't have that today. We still have numerous members of the media, hundreds of them, who attack not only House Republicans for putting this out, but anyone else in the media who said, hey, maybe the Republicans might have a point here. Should we get to the bottom of it? And remember, we spent a year saying these documents need to be declassified, and that would have ended it there. But instead, what happened is that the Democrats lied. And now they've put the American people in tremendous danger. The judges on the FISA court are putting the American people in danger. Yeah. Because look, the American people, at the end of the day, we want our liberty before we're going to give up. We're not going to give up our liberty in order to have some secret court operate to spy on political campaigns and to use our counterintelligence capabilities to do that.
One thing that we did not hear from the IG report was anything that happened before July 2016. Jim Comey continues to say that the FBI launched an investigation, a counterintelligence investigation into potential collusion with Russia and the Trump campaign in July of 2016. And yet there's all this activity, operational activity before that. I want to take your attention to that because we've got informants running at people like Carter Page and George Papadopoulos as early as March. What can you tell us? And I know that this is a subject of John Durham's criminal investigation.
Yeah, we're unsure why Horowitz was not able to figure out what happened pre-July 31st. But remember, the dirty cops at the FBI and the Department of Justice over the last couple of years hid that from Congress also. They would answer no questions. So, you know, right there you have obstruction of a congressional investigation that ought to be held at the highest level. All of those people who blocked us from getting that information, especially if we find out later that the FBI was involved in it. So here's what we kind of know right now. We know that the spy ring that was created to target Carter Page, George Papadopoulos, Trump campaign officials, this big spy ring that was spying on the Trump campaign before the FISA application, it's important to remember that, So this is in August and September and October. They're getting mic'd up and they're recording conversations with the Trump campaign members. That same spy ring was already operational in spring and early summer of 2016. So look, I don't know if the FBI was running it. I don't know if some other government agency was running it. I don't know if a foreign government was operating it. I mean, hell, for all I know, maybe it was Putin and Russia and the Ukrainians, since that seems to be the blame for everything that happens wrong at the FBI or DOJ or with the Democratic Party when they lose elections. I don't know who the hell was running the spy ring, but I want to know, and the American people need to know, and that's what John Durham is trying to figure out, and I'm glad he's there.
Yeah, and let me ask you what you've heard from your lawsuit, because of what you've called reckless and defamation, a disregard for the truth from CNN, you are suing them. The last time we spoke to you, you said that you had served them a week and a half ago, and you hadn't heard back. Have you heard back from CNN head Jeff Zucker or the lawyers at CNN?
Well, as predicted, they're refusing to come to the table to work this out. And the defamation and the reckless disregard for the truth continues, and it gets to what I had just said. Remember, any Republican who didn't go along with the media narrative, first we were accused of being in the Putin puppets and Russian spies. Now if you talk to a Ukrainian, then it turns into a problem. Now if you talk to the former mayor of New York, Rudy Giuliani, that's an even bigger problem. You can't make this stuff up.
Yeah.
But what CNN did, and the timing that they did that to do tremendous damage, not only to me, but to my fellow Republicans in Congress, this was to create a new media narrative that Republicans couldn't be trusted because we were having secret meetings in Vienna with shady Ukrainians, okay? Great story, CNN. It's great for Hollywood. It would be great for some sitcom possibly.
So
but when it's politics and it's the news, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
No, they're refusing to get together. Okay. They're refusing to get together. And that's what I said, Marianne.
Real quick before you go.
Where is Jeff Zucker?
Congressman, real quick before you go, Comey is out this morning saying, I was wrong. I was overconfident in the procedures that the FBI and Justice had built over 20 years. I thought they were robust enough. It's incredibly hard to get a FISA. And I was confident in those, that he was right, and there was real sloppiness. 17 things that should have been in the application or discussed and characterized differently. It was not acceptable. This is what Comey is saying this morning.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, Comey, who cares what he says, right? So he already knew that the dossier was salacious and unverified, okay, which is what he testified to us in early 2017. He knew that had been used in the FISA. He knew that what he called on Bret Baier's interview, he said it was a mosaic of facts. He knew what the rest of those facts were. He knew it was the dirty dossier. He knew that it was fake news articles that were planted by Fusion GPS and Democratic operatives, and he knew the spying had already occurred.
So he lied.
Perhaps the only thing he didn't know is that there was exculpatory evidence. That would be the only thing, but he knew the rest of it. I mean, he's lied so many times. I mean, you would take a whole IG report, it would be about 1,000 pages full of the Comey lies.
Congressman, it's good to see you this morning. We'll keep following this as we have for the last 3 years, right with truth. Thank you so much, sir.